The lies in front of you is a 2008 Volkswagen Jetta with 140,000 miles. Now, the Jetta was originally introduced in 1979 as a compact sedan and has grown mightily over the years. Since the Jetta's inception, there have been 7 generations. This Jetta in specific is a 2008 Jetta, which is part of the 5th generation, which was out from 2005 to 2011. This Jetta is equipped with a 2.5-liter 5-cylinder, which produces 170 horsepower. Now, I previously reviewed the 6th generation Jetta last summer, and in this video I'll be comparing this Jetta to that one as well. In this video I'll be taking around the Jetta, showing off its features and characteristics, taking it for a drive, and seeing where it falls on the lemon list evaluation scale. Stay tuned. So moving to the rear exterior of the Jetta, as you can see, you have some pretty cool taillights in the back of this vehicle with the 2 large red circles encasing the brake lights in the middle. Pretty cool to see. As well as that, you have a dual exhaust on the bottom. Just a cool little exterior feature that I like on the back of the Jetta. So assessing the trunk space of the 2008 Jetta, as you can see here, you got a pretty deep trunk. This is a mid-size sedan, so you got a pretty good amount of storage usually. As you can see as well, there is a 60-40 split if you want to fold down the rear seats to have some larger storage. As you can see, there is a little latch where the center seat is that you can fold down, which I'll get to momentarily when I get in the back seats. But overall, it's a good amount of storage, healthy amount for a mid-size sedan, in case you need to haul some furniture, some items, a suitcase, whatever it need be. So moving to the interior of the 2008 Volkswagen Jetta, as you can see here, you have a very simple instrument cluster. You have your tachometer on the left, you have your temperature gauge in the middle, next to the fuel gauge, as well as the speedometer. As you can see, you have your odometer, your current drive mode, the time, temperature, and the trip odometer in the little screen in the gauge cluster. Pretty simple layout. To the left of the tachometer, as you can see, you have an H and a min button. This is to reset the clock in the center gauge cluster. And on the right side, you have 0.0, which will reset your trip odometer if you were to press this button. Moving back to a farther perspective, one thing that I want to mention on the Jetta is it has a surprisingly large steering wheel. I drive a pickup truck and have a large steering wheel because most trucks have large steering wheels. But for a sedan, the Jetta has an oddly large steering wheel. Even the Passat that I drove, the 09 Passat that I reviewed 2 years ago, it had a decently smaller steering wheel than this. Even the Audi A4 as well, but a surprisingly large wheel in the Jetta. So moving to the center stack of 2008 Jetta, as you can see here, you have your airflow, your vents, how deep you want your vents and the airflow to come out. Moving below that, you have a small little center screen here. You have all your basic radio features right here, AM, FM, your CD player if you want to use that. You have your various tune and scrolling options on the right side as well, and your various presets on the bottom. As before, you have your volume controls, your different radio tuners right here. One thing that I want to point out that's a really cool feature on the Jetta is you pretty much have almost a turntable, for lack of a better phrase, in the center stack of the Jetta. In a lot of modern cars, or even older cars that have all these features, you have to kind of go digging in the screen to try and find these features. But the Jetta right here, you can get your optimum sound system by just providing, or tuning these to whatever you prefer. You have bass, middle, treble, balance, and fader. You can tune these to whatever settings you want. A really cool feature that VW lets you have by just putting them right here on the center stack. A pretty convenient and cool option that you don't see in a lot of cars. Moving below this, you have your AC and heated seats. One thing that's pretty cool about the Jetta that I want to point out is not only does it have 1 nor 2 heated seat settings, but up to 5 different levels of heating to warm your ass to the level that you want on a cold day like it is right now. Below this, you have your temperature gauge, your airflow, and the airflow location settings. Below this, you have a little storage outlet, fits quite perfectly as you can see. You have a couple little blank switches right here before the gauge cluster, or the gear shifter, pardon me. Pretty simple gears, your normal park, reverse, neutral, drive. You have a little sport mode right here, which is pretty cool. You also have an optional manual mode if you drop it down to drive. Shift it over to the right, you can put it in manual if you want. Pretty cool, gives a little bit of a sporty vibe to the Jetta. And below this you have your e-brake, 2 cup holders, and a center console, which is padded comfortably in case you want to use it as an armrest. It can move forward if you want as well, and if you open it up, there's decent storage inside as well. It's a very simplistic and nicely designed center stack to the Jetta. So assessing the interior comfort of the Jetta, you have a very nice leatherette comfort seats. You got this nice gray stitching. Overall, one thing I've really liked in any VW product that I've reviewed, this is the 4th VW product if you include the Audi A4. They all have a very nice interior quality, very high quality leather seats. It's a nice, smooth, comfortable seats with good bolstering on both the sides and for your legs. If you want to go on a road trip, I'm sure any of these vehicles will do a great job with nice comfort. But overall, it's nice, comfortable sedan with good seats. So assessing the rear seats of the Jetta, as you can see here, I am fully outstretched. I still got a pretty good amount of leg room. Seats push fairly far back as well. So if you're a backseat passenger in the Jetta, you got a pretty good amount of leg room. One thing that's kind of cool too, you got 2 storage pouches for both the driver and rear passenger, or for both the rear passenger and rear driver side seats. And same thing as in the front, you have the nice gray leather interior, very comfortable plush leather seats that'll fit you nicely if you're going on a long drive or just you're commuting to work or wherever you're going. One thing that's pretty cool too, as I mentioned in the trunk, you have the foldable center seat. As you can see, you can fold down the seat. As you can see as well, if you press this little button, as on the Audi A4, if you press this button, 2 cup holders will open, giving you 2 cup holders for the rear passengers. As well, here you can open the center armrest to have a little storage pouch. You want to put some items here, play Yahtzee, whatever you want to do here, you can do that in the back of your Jetta. And if you had the key, you could fold down this little area in case you have some larger items like wood planks, maybe skis, whatever it may be. If you have a longer item and you want to tuck it from the trunk into the back seat of the Jetta, you can fold this little flap down and you'll have access to that as well. Overall, it's a very simplistic and convenient back seat. And underneath the hood, we have Volkswagen's 2.5-liter 5-cylinder engine, which produces 170 horsepower. You don't see too many 5-cylinder engines in vehicles, so it's a pretty cool feature the Jetta has. In case you want to check out the 5-cylinder engine, I'm just going to pan over real quick and let you take a look. Alrighty, so getting behind the wheel of the 2008 Volkswagen Jetta. First thing I want to say is the throttle response is pretty solid. I mean, you got the 2.5-liter 5-cylinder, which produces 170 horsepower beneath you. It's got pretty good pep, honestly. One thing I always say in all my videos is this is the 4th VW product that I've driven. I've driven an 09 Passat, an 09 A4, and a 14 Jetta, which is a generation after this. And all of them have a pretty nice driving experience. The thing is, the car's got, like I said, it's got adequate pep. It moves when you punch it. One thing that I will notice, though, it does feel slightly, I guess you could say the word is like heavier for a sedan. Like with the big steering wheel, and when you go around corners, I mean, it definitely doesn't feel like ginormous for a sedan, like an S-Class or an Impala or like a Ford Taurus per se. But it definitely has more of a bulkier kind of body rollish feel, like you're in like a slightly larger vehicle. One thing, is any VW product, it's very comfortable. These leather seats are very smooth, very comfortable. It's got good side bolstering, so you feel very secure while driving. You got a nice, smooth riding experience. To make a turn right here. One thing I will say is the brakes are very responsive to your touch. Barely tapping them, you kind of, it almost stops you on a dime instantaneously. It's got very sudden brake response, which isn't a bad thing, but it takes a second to get used to if you're used to driving a car that kind of coasts with all the brakes more instead of just an instantaneous stop when you just tap the brakes slightly. Going down a bit of a windy road here. It handles well, but it definitely does have that slightly larger body roll thing, which is just kind of a surprise because you don't expect that when you're in a smaller sedan. But I mean, it's not a horrible deal. It's not a big problem. Overall though, just it's not a speed demon. Just a simplistic Jetta with a decent sized engine. But overall though, it just, if you're looking for a nice, simple, practical car, it's affordable, it's got a nice driving experience, a pleasant driving experience is a good word to use. But I think the Jetta's a good option for you though. It's a car you can kind of just cruise in, coast pretty comfortably with a nice, overall nice interior build material. But it's a simple car, good handling, just a nice little driving experience overall though. It is now time for the interview section, in which I answer 5 generic questions one would ask when going to purchase a vehicle. Question number 1 is, what is my favorite feature about the 2008 Jetta? And I would say it's its overall sound system options. Really cool option you don't see in a ton of cars. Some pretty cool features you get with being able to configure all these right from the center stack. So it's a pretty cool option that I really like in the Jetta. Question number 2 of the interview section is, what is my least favorite feature about the Jetta? That would be just like the heaviness when you're driving it. When you're going around a turn, the Jetta, I believe, is on paper with a curb weight of heavier than most sedans. When you're going around corners, it feels a little more body roll. It's like you're almost in like a larger vehicle almost. Not the worst feature to have, but it's a bit of an odd touch on the Jetta that you're not going to see in some other mid-size sedans so much. Question number 3 of the interview section is, what is the most unique or weirdest feature about the Jetta? That would be your 5 heated seat settings. This was also in the Audi A4, and I believe the Volkswagen Passat, but I always got a kick out of how Volkswagen gives you 5 options to heat your seats in case, you want a very specific level. I just think it's kind of funny that they give you 5 different options for your heated seat settings. Question number 4 of the interview section is the 2008 Jetta worth its value? And I would say yes. While new, these are very affordable vehicles. For a 2008 or mid-2000s used one, you can probably get one for, well under $5,000 if you look hard enough. Just in general though, it's a very affordable vehicle. You get a nice driving experience out of it. So I would say the Jetta is worth its value. Question number 5 of the interview section is, would I ever want or own the Jetta? The answer is no. As I say no for most vehicles, I'm more of a truck person. I own a truck. While the Jetta is a nice car with good driving experience, I just would not want to own one myself. Now that we've evaluated the Volkswagen Jetta's characteristics and features, time to see where it falls in the limitless evaluation scale. Before I begin, I want to thank my friend Kyle for lending me a Jetta for the production of this video. Now on with the scoring. Starting with the exterior, the Jetta is a decent looking car, but not breathtaking or gorgeous, earning a 5 out of 10. Interior of the Jetta is also solid, having a decent appearance, earning a 5 out of 10. Road trip on the Jetta is good, as this car is fitted with comfortable leather seats, earning a 6 out of 10. MPG on the Jetta is decent for its class, having a combined estimated MPG of 25.5 miles per gallon, good enough for a 6 out of 10 on the MPG scale. Storage on the Jetta is also solid, having a maximum storage capacity of 16 cubic feet with all the seats folded down, earning a 5 out of 10 for storage. Character on the Jetta is poor. These are extremely common, simple sedans, earning a 2 out of 10 for character. Which on the Jetta is alright, as one could ask for some better tech, a touchscreen, and updated safety features. Granted, this is an affordable entry-level vehicle, but nonetheless, it earns a 5 out of 10 for wishlist. Handling on the Jetta is just okay. It has the smoothest and comfort of every other Volkswagen product, but has a slightly heavier driving experience with a good amount of body roll, earning a 4 out of 10 for handling. Excitement for the Jetta is poor, as it is your ordinary everyday Volkswagen sedan, earning a 1 out of 10 for excitement. Stupidity in the Jetta is good, as there aren't many normal flaws with this vehicle, earning a 7 out of 10 for stupidity. Pricing on the Jetta is good, as you can land a late 2000 Jetta for a little under $5,000. For that money, you're getting a sedan with nice interior, comfortable leather seats, and a decent driving experience. For these reasons, the Jetta earns an 8 out of 10 for price. Engine responsiveness on the Jetta is alright, as a 2.5-liter 5-cylinder produces decent power for its class, earning a 4 out of 10 for engine responsiveness. And overall amenities on the Jetta is just alright. For an affordable sedan, you're getting a nice leather seats, a decent driving experience, and a pretty fuel-efficient car with reasonable storage. For these reasons, the Jetta earns a 5 out of 10 for overall amenities. Add those together to get a grand total of 63 out of 130, divided by 13 categories is 4.85. Overall, the Jetta falls near the bottom of the lemon list, ranking 33rd of the 39 vehicles I've reviewed thus far. In comparison with some other cars on the list, the Jetta falls a few points below the 2009 Volkswagen Passat for its better comfort and storage, and well below the 2009 Audi A4 for its better interior and overall amenities. Nonetheless, the Jetta is a solid car if you're in the market for an entry-level sedan, as it's hard to find a more comfortable new ride for about $20,000. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. Stay tuned for more reviews, and as always, thanks for watching.